Let's cross live now to journalist and political commentator on the Middle East, Steven Sahiounie, for his view on fast developing situations. Steven, we have all these countries signing the deal, but not Israel or Hamas involved. Is that a good or a bad sign?
This is a sign that America planned this, cooked it, and they're the one who is forcing everyone to it. And this was Trump's plan just for him to end this war so he can take the Nobel Peace Prize, but it didn't work. But he is continuing because he likes to be the show and be the talk of the media, and he's achieving things. But at the same time, both sides needed this war to finish, and they found this as an excuse because both sides have lost big. The Israeli side have lost the world's support. And we've seen that when you see hundreds of thousands and millions around the world supporting against the genocide and the massacres and in favor of Palestine. They have lost in their economy billions of dollars because of the boycott around the world, and also their troops and tanks, even though that they try to hide as much as possible, but they have lost a lot. On the other side, Gaza and Hamas, they have lost their leaders, they lost the infrastructure completely. Gaza's down to the ground, and 60,000 civilians, 20,000 of them are children. And both sides couldn't have stopped the war from their side, or it will come out like they lost. In this way, we're seeing on the media, both sides are announcing their victory. Both sides, like we can say that Trump brought them down off of the tree, and this deal ended a very ugly and heartbreaking war that it should be a shame for the Middle East to go through this war in the 21st century.
We're already seeing somewhat of a fraying of this agreement with some of the deceased hostages. There's a differingness between Hamas and Israel on who and when they will be returned. It's supposed to happen today, all 28. Hamas says 4 will be given back. You mentioned as well the plethora of issues around this, aid getting in, the rebuilding of an entire enclave, the status of Jerusalem. How confident are you with all that this deal is going to hold?
This will hold. I personally see, because as I told you, both sides cannot continue this war, and both sides are tired. Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu is tired from the inside and from his interior problems, the international pressure, and the pressure from Washington, D.C. Even though Washington, D.C. sends him and funds him with weapons and money, but the United States is getting also international pressure to stop this war. On the other hand, the Gaza people are starving. Even the fighters of Hamas are fighting. Everyone, even the prisoners are starving. So everyone's starving, and Hamas doesn't want to lose those prisoners, because if they die, their cards in negotiation will be less. So both sides are not in a position that will allow them to say no to this deal. And at the same time, I won't be surprised that Netanyahu will stopping this war to let it up in somewhere else.
I was actually going to just ask you about that. You're speaking to us from Syria. We've been mentioning other fronts for many months, talking about Lebanon, Iran. The IDF is now essentially at a loose end. Are they war-weary, or do you think that front will be pushed further now, and we're going to see a ramp up regionally?
Yeah, I see it going regionally in the next few weeks when the Gaza deal is finished. And because why? Because today, if Benjamin Netanyahu stops the war in Gaza and there's no war, and there's no crisis, and there's no security problems in Israel, there is no way for him to get away from the trial. He is wanted for several trials, and he will be taken out of power immediately and taken to prison, and he doesn't want that. And that's what we've been seeing for the last 2 years. He's been escalating the tension in the region. He bombed Lebanon. He did the pager attack. He killed the Hezbollah leaders. He had participated in the fall of the Assad regime. He bombed Iran. He bombed Yemen. He bombed Gaza. He bombed Qatar, and all of those he did on the day that he had a court, except for the assassination of the leader of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah. So the rest, he did all of those crises and did all of those problems when he had a trial. So I won't be surprised. He's not going to allow himself to go to prison, and he's not until he gets out of this. That's when he will stop the war. But today, yeah, he might be planning on doing a war on Lebanon. The south of Lebanon is being bombed every day, killing people every day and civilians. They just did a big series of airstrikes on the south of Lebanon the day before yesterday and destroyed civilians' property, houses, and shops. So Lebanon is a big choice, and also Iran.
Always engaging analysis from journalist and political commentator in the Middle East, Mr. Steven Sahiounie. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.